Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. Today I want to show you the Blade Fury Assassin again, but now with a more mid-range build, which is very powerful but not expensive. No high runes for this equipment, and you can get it pretty cheap, especially on non-leather. So let's start with the skills first. Again, I've put in 20 into Blade Sentinel, 20 into Blade Fury, and 20 into Bladed Shield. And for the Shadow Disciplines, I went all the way down to Shadow Master and put 20 points in there, all the way down to Venom and put 1 point in there, and the rest of my points go into Claw Mastery. This is supposed to be the max damage approach for Blade Fury, but if you have any other knowledge, if you have any other testing that you did, please let me know in the comments if you think there is a better build. As for the gear and stat attribution, I've put enough to equip my gear into strength. I've put around 200, 205 into dexterity because it boosts up attack rating, which is the most hindrance in using Blade Fury. You need a lot of attack rating because the skill by itself only gives a flat 10%, which is basically nothing, and the rest in vitality. But it's fine this way because we are a ranged class. We have Fate, which reduces our damage, and we have reduced damage from our equipment. So the equipment is as follows. I have a full Natalyas set on me. This is a great set for this build because it has all that we want. You don't need the increased attack speed, and you don't need an Ist rune. I just put it in because of the magic find, but you can socket nothing, or the best thing, but it's a high rune, would be an Ohm. It's 50% ED and it boosts up your Blade Fury damage. But it has enhanced damage, it has ignore target's defense, which is massive for Blade Fury because then you hit almost everything except uniques and bosses, where ignore target's defense does not work at its full capacity, but it tremendously helps against normal monsters. Also a 200% plus damage to demons and to undeads, which is massive, some cold damage. And the set bonuses all help us out, and here you have the 30% damage reduction, all resistances, defense, mana, life leech, and 2 assassin skill levels. So the rest of course is then Natalyas. I've put in a perfect topaz in here for magic find. I have a High Lords. The Deadly Strike is very important because Deadly Strike directly benefits our Blade Fury and it procs on our Blade Fury skill. That's why I also have Lance Guard. I don't know if you know this shield. I haven't before, but as I did some research, I found this shield which gives 20% Deadly Strike. And I've socketed an Amrune for the all resistances. I don't think I needed it because with Fate I have high resistances as well without the Amrune. You can put in for the ED Jewel enhanced damage because this will boost up your Blade Fury damage as well. But this is a great shield, and you may ask yourself, why not go with a second weapon like a second Natalyas Mark? Blade Fury will only go with the main hand attributes and damage. And if you would have like an offhand claw with, for example, Deadly Strike, it would not count towards Blade Fury because it's an offhand. But this is an off-weapon skill, and off-weapon skills count towards Blade Fury. So this is a great shield. But you can always go also with Rhyme Shield or with Storm Shield if you think you need more defense. For the armor, I have Natalyas as well, and socketed it with perfect topazes for magic find. For the boots and Natalyas as well, of course. I have a Natal Ring. You can of course go with anything else that you have. I have a String of Ears for further damage reduction if I get hit, and for life steal, but it's not that necessary. You can also go for Gold Wrap if you need more magic find, for example, or anything else you'd like to wear here. For example, a blood belt, a crafted recipe belt, would be pretty nice because it has open wounds as well. For the other ring I have Raven Frost for the dexterity and attack rating mainly. Cannot be frozen, it's very nice, but it's not necessary for Blade Fury because your Blade Fury attack speed will always be the same if you're frozen or not. And I have Laying on Hands, which also has a increase to damage to demons by 350% and sweet fire resist. This is great set piece. So also very cheap. For the inventory, I have 22 life or rest charms, but you don't need them. I have 6 of them to counteract that I don't have the Anya quests on this character, because somehow the hero editor does not work in that regard. So if I would drop everything, I would have minus 100 resistances, and that's why I have the charms. And yes, they also have life on them, which amounts to around, exactly 120 life, but you will find some plus life, some resistance charms in your leveling, in your mid-range gear. So I think that is fine. So this makes up for 22% lifesteal, 45% damage reduction, plus the 7% damage reduction from Fate. Let's see if the stats here align. Yeah, 52% damage reduction. I have max all rest. I have 22 lifesteal already settled, 14% mana steal. I have 156 magic find, and again you can even go higher if you go with a gold wrap, a second nasal, and a rhyme shield, and then you would have around 250, I think. Increase attack speed, which is not important. Faster run, walk, ignore target's defense, very important. Plus 550% damage to demons, plus 200% damage to undead, 54% deadly strike, which is pretty good. What we don't have is crushing blow, but I don't see where I can get this if I'm running with the full Natalyas set, but it's okay. For the mercenary, I again have an Act 3 Iron Wolf with enchant for the massive attack rating boost, and the fire damage is pretty nice, which lasts also even if the Merc dies. So if he buffs us once, it's 1000 seconds. So if he dies afterwards, we still have enchant, which is pretty mandatory. He has a spirit sword. He has a crown of thieves for some reason. You can get something else, of course. He has a Nash blade for no particular reason, just that I had it in the chest. And he has a storm shield with a hell rune, because they have pretty low strength, and I think he gets strength from the storm shield, and storm shield needs like 156 strength, which the Iron Wolf I think only gets when he's level 97 or something, if even. So the hell rune helps with that, so that he can equip the storm shield and can survive. So the last piece of gear is on the second weapon slot, a Nana's Puzzler for teleport, but you can use any teleport staff. Okay, let's jump into some gameplay, and let's do Travincal. Again, you may want to buff up first, cast your Fate, your Venom, your Shadow Master, your Blade Shield, and then we can teleport if we like to use our charges. And Shadow Master already jumped in, cast Cloak of Shadows, and as you can see, it's no problem. He had Stone Skin, he just fell down. Cloak of Shadows ran out, I cast it again. And this is nice and easy, nice and easy. This is players 1, but you do a draft on players 3 maximum, and that's what we try next. So let's try this on players 3. As you can see, the game is set to players 3. That means the Travincal or all monsters that I encounter have higher hit points and damage. So let's buff up again. And let's teleport to them. But for some reason I was not hitting. I was using that way, but nothing happened. This to me seems basically the same. Seems like players 1, but it's players 3 for sure. They can easily just farm the Travincal with this build, which is very nice. So that's it for Travincal. Let's see how Eldritch and Shenk go, and for that I just go on players 3 because I think it's pretty easy to clear. Long loading screens on Act 5 always. We just go here, we use our Cloak of Shadows, and sometimes they run away, which is unfortunate, because if you use Cloak of Shadows they practically don't see you. But yeah, they're already done. And sometimes your Shadow Master will convert monsters to your benefit and sometimes to your detriment, because if I want to kill them, I can't for a couple of seconds. So let's go to Shenk. I haven't even used Blade Sentinel. As I said, my budget build, I don't think it has good damage, but you can throw them in now and again and see for yourself if it's worth decasting. So as you can see, they're not that good because they just hit once and then they come back again and then maybe they hit once again, and in that time you have like thrown already like 5 to 10 or more shurikens if you go with Blue Blade Fury. So for the last place I want to show you, I want to do the Baal waves. And again, if the monsters come down, just cast Cloak of Shadows and destroy them. You can also pre-cast Blade Sentinel. Let's see if we can hit something. Yep. So it's not like Blade Sentinel just destroys everything, but Blade Fury does, as you just saw. This is players 1 now, this is not players 3, but I think players 3 would be fine as well. Oh. I walked there instead of shooting. I think this is a great build. The only thing that I need to change is the attack rating, because even with Enchant, even with Raven Frost, it's only 10k, and again, I don't think the attack rating from Claw Mastery even counts. I saw some old forum posts from Diablo 2, from old school Diablo 2, where there were a lot of tests, and it basically confirmed that the attack rating from Claw Mastery does not affect Blade Fury, which, even though it shows here the attack rating, it does not seem to apply. And I forgot Cloak of Shadows here. That's basically why you need something that boosts your attack rating, like Enchant or Blessed Aim Merc. And yeah, ignore target defense. There's a lot of weapons with ignore target's defense, so you will find something. You can also socket a Jar Rune, or you can like use a Flesh Ripper. This is one of the best weapons for Blade Fury because it has not only minus 50% target defense, which is also very close to ignore target defense, coupled with your Cloak of Shadows, but also Crushing Blow, Deadly Strike, and Open Wounds, which is pretty nice. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and I'm planning to do a more in-depth guide about the Blade Fury Assassin because I like it very much and there are so many gear choices, so stay tuned for that. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and put a like down, and just follow me for more content. Thanks for watching and goodbye.